all of the parties, the suspect and the victims, were related. It's unclear what precipitated this event. However, the responding officers indicate that the suspect may have been in some kind of mental crisis based on what he was saying to the officers.
Today, we will be in Kingwood, Texas, a suburb of Houston that is located about a 40-minute drive northeast of the big city. Kingwood area offers residents a dense suburban feel and is also known by the nickname the Livable Forest. This is a nod to its 75 miles of green belt and over 500 acres of nature preserves and parks. On Babel Creek Drive in the Kingwood area down a normally quiet road, one family's life was forever changed after a 29-year-old man had a standoff with the police. When the authorities got a call about the DV at the residence, they had no idea that a man was waiting at the end of his driveway for them ready to shoot. As law enforcement took cover behind their vehicles, they had no clue of the tragic horror just inside the home and that a young mother had been sadly unalived. This is a picture of 29-year-old Brian Keith Hall, who many call BK, and his sister, 25-year-old Taylor Ben. He is his mother's first son, and she is the mother's first daughter. The two, only separated in age by 4 years, grew up together, and according to loved ones, they were both very close. When Taylor was younger and in school, she was said to always talk about her admiration for her big brother, and the pair laughed and joked all the time. It appeared that the bond Byron and Taylor had was definitely special, and Taylor was said to always be very protective of her big brother, even though she was the little sister. Both of the siblings appeared to have a loving family, and their mother also had another son and daughter as well. From the looks of things, Byron and Taylor's mother poured into her kids and often gave her kids their flowers. She would tell them how special they were and how proud she was of the obstacles that they overcame in life. On Byron's 23rd birthday, his mother wrote, "Happy birthday to my firstborn, BK, March 31st. Man, when I tell you I'm so blessed to have my baby here to celebrate his Jordan year, God truly loves you and he has a plan and a purpose for your life. You have been in a wreck that totaled your car and walked away with minor scratches. Shot 6 times and didn't even have to have surgery. My oldest, my firstborn, you are truly blessed. Man, when I tell you God has spared my baby's life, yeah, believe me, it was no one but him. I know this struggle isn't over, baby, but with God and the family by your side, we will overcome this, baby. I love you always and unconditionally, Mama." By 2019, when Taylor was 20, she became pregnant with her mother's first grandbaby, a little boy who was born in early 2020. On Mother's Day in May 2022, Taylor's mom would write, "Happy Mother's Day to my baby. She became a mom 2 years ago and has been rocking out at it. There are no instructions when you become a mom, but she is doing an amazing job caring for my grandson by herself." Byron was also said to be a great uncle to his nephew as well. However, tragically, something went terribly wrong between Taylor and Byron inside their mother's home on May 26, 2024, because Taylor was left unalive and he ended up in a standoff with the police. According to authorities on that fateful day, patrol officers responded to a physical confrontation call at that address. Upon arrival, a male suspect, later identified as Byron, began firing an assault-style rifle at the officers from the driveway of the residence. The officers took cover behind the patrol vehicle as Byron continued to fire. Minutes later, Byron walked towards the officers with his hands in the air and was arrested without any further incident following verbal commands, all of which was caught on video by a close neighbor outside.
The suspect then proceeded towards the officers with his hands up, and he was taken into custody without any incident.
Gary captured that moment on his cell phone from inside of his truck.
Of course, the police were yelling at him to get on the ground, which he eventually did.
Once the suspect was arrested, police went inside the home.
Upon entering the home, officers discovered an unresponsive Taylor with gunshot wounds, along with 2 juveniles, her 4-year-old son and their 16-year-old little sister. Paramedics from the Houston Fire Department pronounced Taylor sadly unalive at the scene. However, Taylor's son and little sister were unharmed and were placed in the custody of family members. During further investigation, it was revealed that Byron had engaged in a physical altercation with his sister Taylor, whom he fatally shot during that altercation. The Harris County District Attorney's Office was contacted, and Byron was subsequently charged and booked into the Harris County Jail. Not only that, Byron had a previous record, and during the time of the crime, he was already on a deferred adjudication.
And charged in the of a woman in a Kingwood home has a criminal history involving Byron Hall is charged with Taylor Ben and then opening fire on responding officers Sunday.
The rental home on Babbling Creek Drive is boarded up after the chaotic and deadly scene that played out Sunday when police responded to reports of gunfire. Investigators tell us 29-year-old Byron Keith Hall was lying in wait and opened fire. Neighbors tell us they'd moved in just weeks ago, and while they did not know the family, court records reveal Hall got deferred adjudication for assaulting a public servant in 2017 and was charged with indecent exposure last year. Now he faces charges of aggravated assault of a family member and aggravated assault of a public servant.
This tragedy has definitely left many heartbroken, and for the mother of Byron and Taylor, she had this to say: "These are my babies, and no matter what played out and what the media stated, they loved each other. This is a very difficult time for me and their siblings. We are mourning, trying to process losing Taylor, and support and be there for Byron during this time. Forever my heart beats. Mental health matters. I love them both." I can't even imagine what she is going through, especially since both sides of this traumatic situation involve two of her own children. This is another sad story of another young, vibrant Black mother losing her life behind DV and a senseless gun crime. My heartfelt thoughts and prayers are with his family and loved ones in this trying time, so please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in their difficult time, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.